Hey everybody, I'm back. It's Cy from Happy Accident Studios, and today I am using my little face in the corner cam to block the pictures of things that I want you to see, but we'll see how that turns out, shall we? We've been having some weird technical difficulty things, so I have lowered the frame rate and hopefully it will get better. Today I am going to be working on some projects that I am getting ready for sale, and I'm going to a school sort of handmade fair thing in the summer for my son's school, and I need to build my stock up. I've got some stuff, but I want to make some fresh stuff as well. This is one of the things that I've made. It's sort of an inspirational quote thing, and I don't know if you can't see it, but the ribbons in here are still free floating, which is kind of cool. But that is a 6-inch box frame with a quote thingy in it, which is quite nice. And I'm going to do a couple of different ones in different colors. And then I've got the horses. That is one of them. It's a shadow box. It's a carousel horse in a frame. It's got a lot of my famous handmade 3D flowers inside. And I am going to continue to make those in a variety of different colors as well, because I really love doing it. So here's the blue one that I've made. That's quite nice. I'm not sure, jury's out on whether that would be suitable for a boy's room as a gift, really, because I don't know, are horses girly? Because, you know, there can be boy horses. Just wondering what you people think. But, you know, there we go. It might be okay for a baby. Maybe for a baby? I don't know. But I'm filling these frames up as I go. And this is the newest horse on the menu. She is different from the other two. I don't know if you noticed, but they are different actual horses. This one has not got flowers on it. It's got a couple stars on it. And you can sort of do that horse up a bit like an American flag looking horse if you want. And this one is absolutely covered in roses. So that's kind of more fancy girly. This is yet another sort of fancy girly one. And that one has like a garland of flowers actually around the pole as well. So that one was fun. I just wanted to try a different color scheme with this horse, and I like it. But that sort of got me settled with pink and blue and purple at the moment. You know, green flowers are a bit weird, you know, but I'm going to try lots and lots of different color schemes and see what I come up with. So today what I'm doing is I've written down all of my names. I've got all of my pens down here that I used. Looks like a lot, doesn't it? It's nothing compared to what I have. But that's my sort of color scheme. And I've got some of the flowers die cut. And they're all still white. So I'm going to color them up and see what I can come up with for, you know, different ways of coloring the flowers. And for that, I'm going to need some scrap paper, which I have, because apparently, ooh, it's all sticky as well. But there we go. And we've got our basic tools here for flower sculpting and shaping. I have my foamy mat here, and I have my round nose tweezers, and I have sort of a variety of sort of poking tools and shaping tools and things here that I keep to the side of me. And of course my very battered bottle of Aleene's tacky glue, which will stay by my side for always. I do hope this is coming out better. I really do. So this might be a bit boring for you, I don't know, but I'm going to hang out and I'm going to try and color these flowers maybe in a slightly different way than I ordinarily do. So what have I got here? Lovely. I have an ivory Copic sketch marker. It's E and 4 zeros, so it's quite light, but it's not white, and that's where we're going. And I want to add just a splash of color, so while it's still wet, I'm just gonna put some dots on there, just in the inside, and see if anything happens. Right. I like to sandwich the color in between coats of the light one because it will just like act as a blender. It's alcohol ink, so it dries quite quickly, so I tend to work with both hands. I'm hoping that the darker color will sort of wick out a bit. It kind of does, sort of. Add some more onto this one. This one looks a bit small. Not as much color as the others. Right, I guess I'll do the same with the other three. This could take a while. Oop, I just folded that in. Duh. When I took a flower making class, I was told that to put what you call messy color onto your flower petals, because nature is not like perfect. So it's nice to just have a bit of a mess around like that. I'm probably gonna have to bring this camera down a little bit. Let's see what I can do. That's no lower. Let me see. Well, that's not good. You're looking at something else. Look at that. Maybe this is a little bit closer and you can see better what I'm doing. Right, can you? Who knows? There we go. It strikes me that I should probably have some music on or something. Some royalty-free music, of course. I might just get some of that, because otherwise all you're going to hear is my heavy breathing, because I concentrate and I breathe and I make funny faces, and sometimes, like my daughter, she makes like snory noises, and I wonder if she gets that from me. Maybe I make snory noises when I'm concentrating. So. I have to put some of the old royalty-free tunes on for you. All right, I've got 4 of them. Let me just cover these up for a second. And I'm going to have a little look for some royalty-free tunes. Let's see. Go. Playlist. No. New playlist. Streaming. La la la. Right. Alright, so I've got a new one. Now how do I put stuff in it? Okay. That one. Add songs. Add to streaming playlist. Add to streaming playlist. Add to that one. Getting there. Right, let's just put this on then. Not that though. Okay. Ooh. Is that working? Figure it out. Right, so let's continue. Are you in your happy place yet? I think that one's okay. music there for a second. It's gone quiet. Is there anything else on my playlist? It appears I've run out of royalty-free fabulousness. Let me just have a little looky. Guess we'll have to just like restart it. Okay. Yeah, do it. We'll have some more. different patterns of flowers. And that's me done for a bit. I might take a little break. I might come back. In fact, I might come back really soon, so I'm just going to pop this music back up. Alright, and I'm going to put my intro card on just for a second. See you in a minute. Yeah, so I'm back. Just had to go off and do something real quick. No biggie. I start making funny faces at this point. That's why I shut off the face camera. I just needed to take a little break for a second. I'm doing swag bucks, and they have these little competitions on Twitter, and you've got to type the answer in as soon as possible. So I've done it. I'm back. So what's next? I've colored in sort of 3 of the larger flowers. So I've got sort of 2 each of 3 of the larger flowers. I'm going to stack them on top of each other in sort of a little variegated sort of order. So the darker one on the bottom. And I am going to take my little box of die cut flowers here. I'm going to get the smaller ones out, and I am going to color in some of the smaller ones. And I think that's where I'm going to leave it, because I've got this thing to do called cooking dinner that my kids will starve if I don't do. So I'm going to just sort of sort out what I don't need, which at the moment are these large ones. I've got some lovely teeny tiny ones here. I don't know if you can see that little teeny tiny one. But I've got all sorts of these little tiny flowers, and I'm going to be coloring them in to match the project as well. But before I do that, I've got to fish out all these bigger ones. Ooh, air pressure just changed in the room. Blah. Oh, I hate when that happens. It's awful. I'm going to turn the music back up. My kids are playing with a mobile phone, and they're making it sound like my ringtone. Driving me a bit up the wall because I keep thinking my phone's ringing. But what if it is ringing? Yeah, if anybody wants to get hold of me, they're probably better off talking to me in Twitch chat, actually. Oh dear. Okay. The music has stopped again. I think I'll leave it off for now. Only because I have got to stop soon anyway. So I'll just chat with you for a bit. I have been using Pro Markers on really thin card or thick paper, however you want to look at it. It is about a 130 GSM. I don't know what that is in pounds because I don't understand the American paperweight system. I live in England now, which uses the European system, which is grams per square meter, which makes so much more sense from the way I understand the pounds system anyway. So what I'm doing here is, because it's so thin, it is running through, and I'm counting on that, to the other side. And sometimes it doesn't, and I just have to quickly scribble on the other side just to pick up the bits that haven't been run through. Because I don't know what side is going to be showing, I really do have to hedge my bets. Because sometimes I curl these leaves and sometimes I don't. And sometimes they lie flat and sometimes they don't. So I do need to cover both sides mostly in ink. If you miss a bit, it's just it just looks like a natural variation, which is great. I reckon Mother Nature herself must use Pro Markers. No, maybe not. I've got teeny tiny flowers. Can you see that one? Yeah, there's even smaller ones than that. And I plan to color them all in coordinating colors. See, this is a good example of something that you are going to see both sides of, because this flower sort of gets cupped. So you can see the inside, but you can also see the outside. So both sides of the paper need to be colored. This really is rewarding but time-consuming, this job. And it is a job. It really is. I am selling the finished products on my Folksy Folksy shop and an Etsy shop. It depends where you are. It costs quite a bit to ship to America if you're in America, but if you're in the UK, my prices include UK shipping. So have a look at my Etsy shop and my Folksy shop. I have put links to both on my Facebook page, and that is facebook.com/Happy Accident Studios. And you know my colors. If you've seen Hazmat, you know my colors. You will see that my logo is a handprint, so you'll know you're in the right place if you see the handprint. But yeah, have a little gander in my Etsy shop and my Folksy shop. I have slightly different things in each one, so you might want to go to both. My Etsy shop at the moment just has these things in the frames. But my Folksy, is it my Folksy shop that has the extra stuff? I can't remember now. But I have previously listed other items there, and I've renewed those listings. I do lots of stuff with mirrors and paint, so some of those efforts are going to be listed too. Just keep an eye. You know, give it a like if you like it. That would help me out quite a lot. At the moment, I'm not really that visible, so it'd be nice to increase my visibility a little bit by having people actually view my work. That would be nice. Oh goodness. I gotta find all these little tiny flowers. Okay, I've done a couple of them in each color. This is another one I'm gonna switch. Oh. I do love these little flowers though. Let me just flip this. It's probably very hard to see what I'm doing at the moment because it's just so small. Yeah, you can't see it. I am not equipped at the moment to lower the camera any further. What I really would like to do is get a camera that I can zoom. As far as I'm aware, mine doesn't, but I'm gonna do a bit of playing and find out anyway. Right, I've got some other types of flowers here I also need to color, but I need to find some of the other bits in here. Now this is a fun one. Maybe we'll do this sometime. It's just a paper folding thing, and you put all these bits together. You can make beautiful round sort of arrangements with them, and all you really need is old magazine pages. It's perfect. So maybe we'll do that one day and put it on the list of things to do together on Twitch. Right, these are bigger ones. That's definitely a big one. Big one. Big one. Now we're down to all little ones. Put all the big ones back in there. Oh, and I've got all these tiny, teeny, tiny little things that I can color in. I think I'm going to do some in a totally different color. Because, you know, contrast really does work wonders. Right, so that's another one. I'm terrible as well because I've got to sort of organize things sort of by color and type and all that. Oh, that one needs to be this color. Making teeny tiny flowers is so fun. I love making teeny tiny flowers. Oop, oop. Yeah, I'm thinking that my Twitch channel might be like a bit of a unique selling point in that, like, if somebody orders a custom made item from me, they can like watch me make it. I thought that might be cool. So that's kind of what I'm thinking about right now. Oh gosh. I might need to cut more of these. Okay. Because I think they can be done in such a variety of ways, with such a variety of colors. They can have names put in them, these frames. They can have like an inspirational quote put in there. And, you know, the limits are just endless, really. So I'm quite excited to actually take custom orders for them. Might be really good. I mean, it takes me quite some time to make them, which is why they cost what they cost, but I think it's worth it if you really want to give, like, a gift that's super unique. That nobody else is going to have one just like yours, because they're made by hand, by moi, and they come with all my best wishes attached as well. I think that the energy that you put into things comes through. It really does, and I adore the process. So I think that part of that, it does show in the finished product. Seem to have run out of teeny tiny little... Ah, there's one. Is it the right size? I can't tell now. My eyes are going funny. Tiddlywinks! Just like flew across the paper. Lovely, lovely. See, these are some that I actually did make earlier. I really did. They're so small. I can't even show you how small they are. That's how small they are. They're so cute. I didn't use them all. They were meant for this one. They were meant to go in here, but I had enough. So I think there's enough in there that I didn't need all these. So I will put these on another project so as not to waste it. Now, what else have I got here? I found another one. Hurrah! I'm glad I found another one. Out of all the little tiny flowers, these I think are my favorite. Oh, what have I got here? I need that too. But it is getting to that time that I really should probably go cook dinner. I think we should have more day after school ends, you know. Because I've got to go and pick kids up and stuff, you know. I'd like to have more time to stream, to show off everything to my lovely, lovely friends who come to join me. Right, so what have I got now? I've got 1, 2, 3 different kinds of big flower. I've got all 3 colors of these little tiny things, all the smallish ones. I've got 2 colors of these little tiny things. And I think I'm going to make, because this is the sleigh bell, this color. This is the color that I make the little pole out of. And I like how bright it is and how it contrasts. So I think I'm going to make these smaller inside pieces here in sleigh bell. Also, it's quite a bright color, a bit like the pollen would be on a flower anyway. So I think that would look really gorgeous on the inside of some of these flowers. Gorgeous. Oops, I missed a bit. Boop. Attention to detail. I think that's why people buy handmade products instead of factory stuff sometimes. Because they are genuinely made one by one, little bit by little bit. And the people who make them, their reputation's on the line. Every item that's sold to every person that buys, that's pressure. But we love it, right? Oh, I do love that sleigh bell color though. Gorgeous, gorgeous. It's a limited edition one as well, so when I've run out, I've run out. I'm not going to be able to buy another. It's a shame, it's so beautiful. A lot of the Pro Marker colors that I use in these just happen to be the limited edition ones. I have a lot of Pro Markers. I think you've seen me put them away once, so I've got an absolute ton of them. But the ones I keep going back to seem to always be of this limited edition sort of ilk, which doesn't bode well. I guess eventually I'll have to fall back on the regular rotation that I do have. But for now, I'll just go with what I love. I suppose I can attempt to get more, but buying additional items in a limited edition equals expensive because you're going to have to take it from someone else who might not want to get rid of it for less than a ton. So use sparingly and lovingly is the advice, I think. I've done 5. I should probably do some more. This colouring in of the flowers is quite a convenient thing for me to bring on the school run with me. I can get to the school early, get a decent parking space, and then sit and colour flowers in the afternoon. And I did plan to do that today, but I don't know what happened. How do you get sidetracked in the car? But I did. I've got 6, and I've got 1, 2, 3 times 4, just 12. So I'll just do 6 more. Where are you? Now I'm going to need to do more because these little things are going to be the middles for the other flowers as well. Oh dear. Yeah, it's a shame I didn't actually have the right weight of card in this color and wouldn't have to do this, but it wouldn't be such a wonderful match if that had happened. And that is why I do it this way, is so that the colors all match, because I'm terrible at matching colors. And arguably I do choose them strangely as well. But I do love a crazy color scheme. Gosh, is that even visible? It's like I'm working on invisible things over here. Not really the point of a video stream, is it? Goodness. And I do work in such tiny scale sometimes that it would really help to have a finer detail, or at least a camera that's closer, because this is this is not good. I need a detail camera. If anybody works in heavy detail, can you let me know what camera you use, please? And I'll try and find out as well on Twitter, or maybe there's a the Twitch forum. I think I'm on the Twitch forum. I think it's called Twitch Start or something. I'm going to log in over at Twitch Start and find out what everybody uses. Like, if there's any jewelry makers out there that stream on the Creative, I would love to hear from you. If you know anybody who's a jewelry maker that streams, they usually work in quite tiny details, so they might know. I've got a Microsoft Life Cam. I don't even know if that can zoom. If it can, I would really adore that. Then there's my inability to keep things in frame. Am I working all the way down at the bottom of the camera frame there? Brilliant. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. I do need more than this, though. The other good thing about coloring them in by hand, though, like this, is that if you've got cardstock that's been colored by adding another layer on top of it, when you've cut that out, especially on a small piece, you can see the white core when it appears when the paper is cut. And in this case, that's just not going to happen because it was white to begin with and it's been saturated with ink. That looks gross. My fingernails got all gross ink on it now. But that's alright, I know exactly how to get it out. It's an alcohol-based ink, so when you wash the alcohol-based ink off, you just use alcohol. And it should work quite well. And I happen to have a giant bottle of it downstairs. Not to drink, mind. The other kind. Okay, just in case you can't see what I have been doing this entire time, I'm so sorry. I'm going to bring it back up. There is the sleigh bell colored flower middles. So, yeah, and here are the spotted bits. And here are the little swirled ones. That is going to be so much fun to shape, and I don't know whether I'm going to do that live on stream or not, because I have done it before, and I don't know if people are getting tired of seeing it, but it is part and parcel of what I do now, so I guess get used to it. I do breathe funny, drool, my nose runs, and all manner of horrible things when I work with tiny, tiny things. So stay tuned for that if that's your bag. Really, I hope to come back tonight and do a bit, just a little bit further. I'm not probably going to talk that much. Yay! I'm probably just going to hang out and do that. But for now, I really do need to get going, and I need to feed the babies. Not babies anymore, they're big babies. I guess they are babies, but they're just big babies. I need to feed the babies, and then I will come back and I will continue my quest, my coloring and things. And wow, it's been a while. I will see you very, very soon. I've been Cy. This has been Happy Accident Studios. If you want to get in touch, you can contact me on at Hapax Studios on Twitter, Pinterest, Instagram, and Vine, although I haven't done Vine in quite some time. There's a thing I can do. Vine. Anyway, you can contact me. Well, you can follow me on any of those anyway, and definitely Twitter. I should follow you back because I do tend to do that, and then we can direct message until the sun comes up. Woohoo! So yeah, contact me there. I have a website. It's really out of date though. If you want to see what I was doing about a year or two ago, you can go to www.happyaccidentstudios.co.uk. If you want to email me, if you have any sort of long-winded questions or anything like that, you can drop me a line. I am Cy, S-Y, at happyaccidentstudios.co.uk. And I'm on Facebook, facebook.com/happyaccidentstudios. No spaces. So, now that you know how to find me, if you like this stream and you would like to know when I'm on live, please do follow me. I would be very happy if you followed me, and then we can sort of chat and stuff. So that's me done for now. I will be back soon. Claire, if you're there, yeah, look out for me tonight. I really do want to be here, you know, back here around 8:30. So that's like 2 hours from now. See you then. Bye-bye. Or not. I can't find the button. You know, here we go.